you live from MuralFest 2026, and it's a special edition of the Artist Spotlight Show being brought to you by Blue Shamrock Music and also Biker Bay Barber and Company. And man, do we have a special guest for you. This guy is just killing it right now. His name is Liam St. John, and a little fun facts about him. He was actually on The Voice, season number 19, and the judges loved him so much. And here he is today on performing on some of the biggest stages. He has over 380,000 people listening to his music right now. Unbelievable. He's got a new album that's coming out. We'll talk to him about his album. We'll talk to him about his journey. And joining me on the interview is the one, the only Miss Karen, and she's actually live with our special guest. Hello, Karen. Say hello to everyone.
Hey, guys. Hope everybody's doing well.
Yes. And now, without any further ado delay, let's bring in our special guest, Liam St. John. How are you doing, sir?
I'm great. How are y'all doing?
Good. So let's kick off our interview. And you just got off the stage in front of a ton of people. How are you feeling right now?
Oh, that was so fun. Never done MuralFest before, and we played the Watson stage, so it was really cool. And I have a song with Molly Tuttle, so she came up and surprised me and sang it with me, so that was really fun.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. And so, as you mentioned, your first time here at MuralFest, and what's your impressions of the festival?
It's amazing. I mean, I haven't really seen much of it because we got here in the morning and then straight to the stage, but it looks like a great community of people, and I'm excited to play a bit more today and see all the shows.
All right. Well, we're going to turn over to Karen now, and then I know that she has a few questions for you. Karen, take it away.
So I noticed that you're playing 3 shows today. How do you feel about doing this many shows in one day?
Oh, we're used to it. We love these types of festivals. We just played like country to country overseas. We had like 4 or 5 sets a day. So
that's awesome. So where all have you played out of the country?
I mean, all over Europe and UK. It's like our favorite place to play.
That's awesome. So I have been a part of Merle Watson Festival since I was 19 years old. I'm 57 years old now, telling my age for sure. I've helped put this thing together. I've done security for some of these people, and it's been a lot of fun. So it's good to meet new artists out here and stuff too. And I just got to hear a little bit of your music in there, and I'm looking forward to hearing you this afternoon because I'm going to come see you. So just tell me how you got started.
Oh, I mean, I've been singing since the womb. But I grew up singing in the church when I was about 11 or 12. I started singing, and then it just evolved from that. Started writing songs and started rock bands in high school, and then it just evolved into this. So.
I think that's what we all do. I think we all start off in the church singing, and then we just kind of go from there. So do you play an instrument also?
Yeah, I play electric and acoustic guitar.
Oh, that's nice. So you're a songwriter also?
Yeah, write my own song. Yeah.
So do you kind of go on the poem, the AB form poem, or do you just kind of does they rhyme, or do you kind of go on with just whatever you're feeling?
Yeah, I mean, it's really whatever comes out. Sometimes the rhyme scheme comes out A B, but sometimes it comes out really weird. It's
sounds
cool
good.
that way too.
So when was your first? When did you come up with your first song?
I think my first song was probably when I was like 16 or 17, and it was really bad.
It was bad?
Yeah.
Not as good as bad as bad.
Bad and not a good song, but you gotta write the bad ones to get to the good ones.
That's true. That is funny because sometimes we'll start off with something and I get it because I've done it myself. What else you gotta come up with, Russell?
All right. Well, thanks for sharing that with us. And let's talk about your album. You have that new album out right now. You have some amazing songs on that album. How did that album come together, and what does your songwriting look like? Is it based on personal experiences, or is it just from things that maybe you just come up with? What does that look like for you?
Yeah, that whole album was just it's basically my life story. And, I guess it was a lifetime in the making. Thank you. My songwriting process was really just I started writing songs as a cathartic thing, as like a therapy thing to express feelings I was holding inside for a long time, and that's my whole album is just finally writing about those things that were weighing me down for a long time. And, yeah, I'm really proud of it. It's everything I dreamed of for an album, and just the songs mean so much to me. So I'm just happy they're all out there and spinning in the universe. But yeah, we're working on new music already. So
What's your next
That's
festival?
awesome.
Next festival. Oh, we're playing Loretta Lynn's Motorcycle Music Revival.
We need to go to
Awesome.
that.
Yeah. Another question for you. In my opener, as I introduced you to the show, you were actually on The Voice season number 19. Can you maybe talk a little bit more about that, the experience, and how that's helped you to get to where you are today?
It was a really cool moment, especially as a singer. You know, it's like one of the things you always dream of doing, and it took me a while to get on the show, and then all of a sudden I was there on stage turning chairs. So it was a moment I'll never forget. It was during the pandemic, so it was a really interesting season, but we just all felt lucky we were able to work and sing during such a hard time in the world. And so, yeah, it was beautiful, and met some really cool artists and friends that I'm still really close with now. Yeah, I mean, it did a lot for my self-esteem and confidence in my career, which goes a long way, you know.
Awesome. I got one more before I turn over to Karen. And so, we talked about your album, we talked about your music and everything. Now, there's artists that will be watching now, will be watching later. What advice can you give to them to get to maybe where you are right now?
Oh, it's just taking the next logical step is what I've always done, and I've just always believed that this was my definite purpose, and so there was no question of whether or not I was going to be doing music for the rest of my life. And so once you know that, then it's just keeping your head down and taking the next logical step, whether it's open mics or playing dive bars or picking up the guitar, learning how to write songs. It's just taking those small steps and doing them every day that's how you move mountains with your career.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Let's turn back over to Karen.
So I wanted to ask, so if you had to go back and think about who was your favorite artist growing up and who you like to sing their songs, or who you might sound the most like, who would that be?
Well, I always say probably the first voice I ever fell in love with was Ray Charles. He's one of my favorites. But yeah, I really loved a lot of the soul and R&B artists when I was younger. Like Lauryn Hill is probably one of my favorite singers of all time. And, Tracy Chapman is one of my favorite songwriters. Yeah, I just think that raw and honest, authentic sound is what I've always been drawn to.
So if you had to meet somebody like one of your favorite artists today, who would it be?
Oh man, I would love to meet Lauryn Hill. I think that would be the pinnacle for me.
Yeah.
But this career is crazy and really cool. Like for example, Molly Tuttle came out on stage. She's one of my favorite artists. When you put in the work and you start growing in your career, you start to meet some people you've looked up to your whole life. So that's the fun part. Like I've played festivals with Chris Stapleton, Tierra Farrell, and it's just a really cool thing to get to be in the same sphere as all those people.
So have you heard of the Myrtle Beach Country Music Festival that's coming in June?
I haven't, no.
So you'll have to check in on that. We would love to have you next year.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that. We might need to get him over there, Russell.
All right. I have a few more pretty cool questions. All right. I forgot to tell you, when you come on to the Artist Spotlight show, expect the unexpected. Here's the first one for you. You ready? All right. If your life right now had a theme song, what would it be?
Well, Little Feat, the band, did a version of Hank Williams' Lonesome Whistle, and it's probably my favorite song right now. Yeah, but we're just always on the road, and it kind of describes how I feel inside.
Okay. Here comes another funny one. I guarantee when I ask you this next question, you've never had this on interview before, but you hear it first right here on the Artist Spotlight show. Okay. If your guitar could talk, what would it say about Liam St. John?
This dude is sad as can be.
I wasn't expecting that one. All right. Well, I'm gonna turn again. I'm gonna turn back over to Karen as we wind down our interview. We're gonna turn back over to Karen, then we'll do a few closers for you. And then thank you so much for taking time out to be with us. We appreciate the much success as you move on in your amazing career. Now let's turn back over to Karen.
Thank you so much.
So I wanted to talk a little bit more to this guy. Like I want to definitely follow him to his next show, hear him more in person instead of on the TV. I'm impressed. How old are you?
35.
You're 35. You look a lot younger. So, so first time on the road. Where would that have been, and how long did it take to get there, and what was the travel like? That was kind of a mouthful there.
Yeah, I mean, I probably 10 or 11 years ago is when I started touring. And it was just DIY. Like we rented a Penske truck and went around down the West Coast and all the way to Florida, and just played like really small gigs or open mics, whatever we could do.
So the whole band was with you in that Penske truck?
It was me and my drummer at that point. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That's one of those stop off at the service station, grab you a cup of coffee, and the lights are in the rearview mirror for where you just left, just played. Yeah,
exactly.
I definitely get it.
Yeah, it's definitely a grind. That's how you know if it's your calling, because if you love that stuff, then you know it's you're on the right path.
Absolutely. Well, Russell, I have asked all my questions, so it's all on you, buddy.
I just got one, just two more for Mr. Liam. All right.
Okay.
All right. So let me ask you this: what's the funniest thing that's ever happened to you on stage?
Well, me and my band, we have a lot of fun up on stage, and at one point there's this song, Greyhound Bus Blues, and I lean on my banjo player at the end, and he like squats down and launches me back up, and one time he launched me way harder than I thought, and I landed flat on my face. So.
All right. Well, as we wind down here, do you have anything you'd like to share with our audience? Any final thoughts?
Yeah. Thanks for having me, and thanks for tuning in. I've got my debut studio album out, Man of the North. Please check that out, and yeah, try and come to a show. I'd love to see you all in person.
All right, sounds good. Again, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Much success to you as you move on. And when you get back on stage, make sure you give us a shout out, okay?
Right on.
All right. The Artist Spotlight Show being brought to you by Blue Shamrock Record Label and Biker Bay Barber and Company. We got Karen live on location, and we were right here live at Merle Fest 2026. And what an amazing interview we just had with Liam St. John. What a great interview. You'll be able to check out the interview right here on our YouTube channel. All you got to do is just subscribe to the channel, like it, and you'll be able to check it out. We have all kinds of interviews coming live from Merle Fest right here. And again, Karen, a little bit later on, we'll have a few more interviews with you as well. It's your friend Russell K. On behalf of Karen, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back with some more live interviews and live reports. And you know what, Karen, before we go off the air, I want to talk to you about Merle Fest. I mean, because, you know, maybe a lot of people don't. Let's talk about Merle Fest, all right? And let's talk about some of the things that you know. So share what you know about Merle Fest.
So my grandfather and Doc Watson were really good friends, and they got together with B-Towns, and they started this back when I was 19 years old. He built the cabin. He built the main stage. There's a garden for the blind out there that's dedicated to the Williams family. The first year was probably 300 people. Now we're like 340,000 people. I've worked security for this college. I worked with Allison Krause as her security officer at one time for one of the festivals. Worked with Loretta Lynn, Minnie Pearl, Emmylou Harris, a bunch of great artists back in the beginning. That was the year that Vince Gill made it big. And Emmylou Harris said, "Y'all mark my word, this guy's going to leave me. He's going to go off on his own." And he did, and he made it big. So other than that, I've been here every year, minus a few years in the later years. But I'm back again. I'm back strong. So I'm taking advantage of what my family has started.
I mean, just coming into the festival today, I'm sure that it brings back some special feelings for you. How you feel
It
when you
definitely
first walked in? When you first walked in onto the fairgrounds, I mean, what was your first your, your thoughts?
I could not believe how many people are here and how crowded it was. I can remember, like I said, I remember when it first started, it was nothing like this. So it's definitely amazing how much it's grown. And it's a privilege to say that we were a part of it.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you sharing that with us, and we're gonna have some more live interviews throughout the day. And welcome to the team. We're glad you're here with Music Dreams USA Radio, and thank you
Thanks
for all
for,
that you do.
thank you.
All right. We'll be back with some more live interviews, as I mentioned, throughout the afternoon. Make sure you stay right here on Music Dreams USA Radio. We play everything for everyone. Check us out. And the Artist Spotlight Show, we're live on location. Until the next time, stay right where you are and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's your friend Russell K on behalf of Karen. We'll see you soon. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you. Bye-bye.